third live of the week. This live is Kurl Confessions / Ask Me Anything. So earlier this week, I put up a little NGL link that allowed a few people to submit their anonymous, Kurl Confessions and their questions to me, basically. Some of them were a little bit trollish, I'm not going to lie, and I'm not answering all of them, but I've got 7 of them to answer today. So let's get cracking. The first one is your opinion on wigs. So this is an interesting one. Hey everyone joining the live. So my opinion on wigs is I generally think wigs are a really nice way to change up your look. If you maybe want to experiment with straight hair, blonde hair, ginger hair, blue hair, whatever. Like, it's a really good way to just experiment with your hair without actually having to potentially damage your hair and compromise your hair in the process. So I think wigs are a really great tool for temporary changes. Now, I also think that the problem is when people rely on wigs and they use them way too often to cover their hair, and they don't actually embrace their natural hair at all. So that is where my issue comes in with wigs, is the fact that some people will just use them like as that's their default style, and I don't think they are necessarily needed in that way. I think wigs should just be a tool for changing your style, maybe a little break from doing your hair from time to time, or if you want to experiment with colour or different looks and stuff like that. I think wigs should just be used for temporary changes, not a permanent solution to maybe you don't like your hair, or you think your hair's too hard to manage and you just don't want to deal with it, basically, and you prefer the look of how you look with a wig on as opposed to how your hair is naturally. So that is my opinion on wigs. Number 3 is a Kurl confession from somebody. Obviously, I don't know who these people are who have submitted these responses on NGL because it doesn't give me any information. The third one is, I had mid-back hair length as a little girl until my mum relaxed it and broke it off to my ears. 30 years relaxed until the age of 39. Now for natural for 5 years. Learning my hair again, working on bra strap length hair, currently at just above shoulders. Which is, I feel like a lot of us could probably relate to something like this anyway. I mean, I definitely got my hair relaxed when I was younger. My mum didn't relax it. I actually wanted to relax my hair. But yeah, it's really sad to hear when people say their parents or their mum relax their hair like at a young age, because when you're that young, like, number one, you don't need those strong chemicals in your hair at all. And number 2, it's really just kind of like projecting the wrong opinion of your hair. Like, it sends the message that it's maybe too hard to handle or too difficult, or it's not acceptable to, have your hair in its natural state. So I can only imagine what, as a child, you must grow up thinking about your hair if it was relaxed from a really young age. And I guess it's really hard to unlearn those kind of thoughts and preconceptions as well, because you're not even really given the choice to like embrace your natural hair. You're just growing up with your hair relaxed and that's all you know. So it's really good though that we've got to a point where we now embrace our natural hair a lot more. We see online a lot more, women and the natural hair movement and celebrating black women's hair and afro textured hair a lot more nowadays, as opposed to back in the day when a lot of people used to relax their hair, including me. But yeah, it's hopefully, whoever this is, I hope you get to your hair length goals. You're saying you're just above shoulders at the minute, so that's kind of like bob length. And for me, that length is the probably easiest time to retain length, because your hair's not actually rubbing against anything at all. And yeah, good luck to you. Okay. The next one is, how long do you keep sewings for? So for me personally, obviously I am not a sewing girl. I don't wear sewings and stuff. But there was one point in my life when I did wear sewings and weaves and things, and I would keep them in usually for about a month before I took them down and wash my hair. Now, sewings as well, they can be a really nice way to change up your look and retain length if you do them properly. Obviously, you need to maintain the hair underneath at some point. You can't just kind of leave the sewings in for like 8 weeks, 12 weeks at a time and then expect your hair to be flourishing when you take it out, because the hair's going to probably be dried up. But yeah, I would just advise, with most protective styles, longer than a month seems to be a little bit too long, especially when it comes to like wanting to take care of the hair underneath. If that's something that's your priority, is, you know, retaining and growing your actual hair underneath, you need to be moisturizing the hair underneath. And with a sewing, it's very difficult to moisturize any hair under that weave. So that's my recommendation. Response number 5. This is a weird one because, do you know me? Like, it's a little bit accurate. Don't know who it's from, but it says, you are one of those people who never tries to fit in, but everyone secretly likes anyway. That is a very accurate depiction of me. I am someone who literally does not care to fit in with anything. I have never tried to fit in. I've always been that girl who's like just very secure and independent, and I will literally have the smallest circle of friends. And even in school, I was like that. I was like, didn't really care for being popular or being cool or whatever. Like, my friends were like, I had like one best friend and then a few other close friends, and then that's it really. I've never been the kind of person to have like millions of friends who are not that close to me. But yeah, whoever submitted that response, who are you? Do you know me? Did you go to school with me? Weird, but very true. Next question is, what is one product you could not live without? This is a really tough one because one product I couldn't live without is, I'm going to say conditioner. Because if there was one product that I was only to use for the rest of my life, I think conditioner is a great one, because you apply it after your shampoo and you wash it out. So your hair's nice and moisturized. But then with some conditioners, you can actually just leave them in as like a moisturizer. And for that reason, I would just choose a conditioner, because I could not just live on, for example, a shampoo, because my hair would be dry 100% of the time. If I lived on a gel, my hair would just be built up 100% of the time. If I lived on, like, I don't know, oil, that would be greasy 100% of the time. So I think the only thing I could actually just live with on its own is a conditioner. And I'm not even a conditioner girl usually. I'm just like a shampoo, deep conditioner kind of girl, and then I wash that out. I don't even use a conditioner on a regular basis. So yeah, someone in the chat said, only need 5 good friends on one hand, then a million fakes. Yeah, it's so true. You actually, like, I can count on one hand the close friends that I've got, and it doesn't even bother me that I haven't got like loads of friends, to be honest. I feel like the older you get, the more you realize like who are your people and who are not, basically. And it's not to say that I don't have a lot of acquaintances that I'm cool with. I'm fine with everyone, but to actually class you as a friend, like, you have to be close to me, and we have to be like, I have to make the effort, basically. So yeah. Next question. And also, if you've got questions for me or you want to like respond, put them in the chat. I will respond as we go. Cup of tea, E4C, the inner circle. Yes, always the inner circle. Number 7. This is a funny one. Do you think braids are cultural appropriation if white people wear them? In terms of braids and cultural appropriation, is like, I don't even feel like it's a thing anymore, because the amount of cultures there are, and with social media and the internet, everyone just like embraces everyone else's culture, especially when it comes to like fashion, food, music taste. There's so many like crossovers with like what I guess you should be listening or watching or wearing or doing in regards to your culture. So I don't think just doing braids alone is cultural appropriation, if I'm being completely honest. If I was to see a white person with braids, like, depending on how it was done, like if it's just like 2 braids or 1 braid, then I wouldn't even bat an eyelid at that. If it was like lots of little cornrows, then I might just give a little, but it's not my business. I don't care what people do with their hair. Like, I've got other things to be worrying about than people doing braids in their hair. So yeah, overall, I don't think wearing braids are cultural appropriation. I think maybe if someone was like to do the whole like blackface, maybe they'd got like BBL, lip filler, like did their hair in braids and maybe like wore like African clothing and things like that, then I would think it's a cultural appropriation because of the whole like look put together. But yeah. Okay, we've got a few comments. Braids came from the Vikings and Northern Europe too. Yeah, Vikings did wear braids. They didn't wear cornrows though, but they wore braids. So that's just one to think about. I already know. Hi, Miss Paris. I already know. No, so I'm like, why can't I read today? I know you already mentioned wanting a relaxer as a kid. Was there ever a time in your life where you consciously did not appreciate or like your natural hair? My bad if it's too personal for you. No, absolutely not. I have talked about this maybe briefly in one of my videos on my channel. A time in my life that I did not appreciate or like my natural hair was during my early teens to late teens. So it really came from obviously being at school, primary school. So from the age of like up to 11, I didn't really take in so much like me in comparison to like other people. I didn't think I was that different. Bearing in mind, I went to school in a predominantly white area. There was probably only 2 other people in my secondary school other than me who were black, and like 1 other person who was maybe mixed. So I was like one of 4 people in the whole school. So in primary, I didn't really pay attention to the fact I was different at all until people pointed it out. Sometimes people would comment the odd comment about my hair because I used to wear it in braids. My mum used to braid my hair a lot in like singles. So sometimes I would get comments at school about my hair being like different, but I didn't really pay much attention to it until I got to secondary school. And it's not that people used to comment on my hair or anything. It was just that my friends and my peers all had like straight hair. They were doing like these different styles and I couldn't do them, like, and I didn't want to wear braids anymore for school. So I decided to get a relaxer and straighten my hair, obviously, for that reason. And I think it was mainly down to the lack of education for me, because growing up, my mum always was taught to braid my hair. My mum's white, by the way. My mum was taught by my auntie how to braid. So my mum learnt to braid and she would always take care of my hair and braid it. And it got, it was really healthy. It was a nice length. And when I got older, I just didn't want to do braids anymore. So I was like, I thought my hair would only be able to be in braids, or that's it. Kind of, I didn't know what the texture was like when it was kind of wet and it had products in and it was defined. I didn't actually know I had curly hair until I got to about 19 when I was in uni. And so from 11 to 18, my hair was relaxed. It was straight. And then because I moved away from my hometown for university, I moved to London. I no longer went to my hairdresser because my hairdresser was up north in Leeds, and it was way too far for me to travel from London to Leeds every 10 weeks to get my hair relaxed. So I was like, I'm not doing this. And I just kind of left my hair to grow out unintentionally. And then as it grew out, I was then like, oh, my hair's actually curly. Like, all this time, I didn't know my hair would hold a curl. So, yeah, long story short, I did not appreciate my hair throughout my teenage years until I got to an adult, and I kind of just naturally transitioned out of relaxer and then kind of experimented when I got around. I guess I got just more around, black people in general. I had a lot of black friends at university. I used to see all of these different styles and things like that. So yeah, but now here we are appreciating all of this. Cup of tea, you said, was it bullying or compliments at school? It definitely wasn't compliments. When I was at primary school, someone made a silly comment like, oh, your hair looks like a spider or something like that, because I had little plaits in my hair, and I hated it. Obviously, that's not a nice comparison to compare someone's head to be like a spider. So I didn't like that at primary school. But like I said, I didn't really pay much attention to it either. I was just like, oh, whatever sort of thing, and probably said something back to him. And then in school, I only remember one other comment about my hair, and someone said it was like, this is like really northern slang term called a bamf. So it's like, it's not even a real word. So it just basically means like your hair's like puffy and frizzy, and like, yeah, basically that. And I was just like, well, that's not really what I want. I don't want puffy, frizzy hair. And the comment didn't really sound like a compliment. So that obviously just made me want to go and relax and straighten my hair even more. So yeah, schools are interesting. Yeah, representation is so important. I think if I went to school in London and I was around other mixed and black kids, I 100% wouldn't have done that to my hair. Especially if I knew how to define my curls as well. But obviously, when I was younger, the internet, I don't want to say it wasn't around. It wasn't so massive as it is now, like social media and stuff like that. So it wasn't just like, oh, I could see all these inspo videos and pictures and everything like that and be like, yeah, let me try this, let me try that. Things weren't available during that time as much as they are now. So yeah. Non-hair related, how did you figure out career-wise what you wanted to do? Are you still trying to figure out? I don't know, adulting is hard. I completely agree. How did I figure out career-wise what I wanted to do? It's not really definite. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't have a plan. I kind of went to university because I've danced from the age of 11 onwards, and I always knew I liked dance and I enjoyed dance. So I pursued that through university and then after university. And then when I got a bit older, I was kind of like, what should I do? Still enjoy dance, but I didn't want to, it was hard in London to make a living being a dancer. So I was like, right, I'm going to go into teaching. So I did my teacher training, became a teacher, and then kind of just found my way that way through still doing something that I really enjoyed doing, but then obviously it being quite lucrative in terms of paying the bills and being secure and things like that. So yes, career-wise, I don't even want to say that is what I want to do for the rest of my life, because ultimately, the older I get, the more I really want to just work for myself and pour into my own business and things like that. So ultimately, that is what I'm leaning towards nowadays. And I feel like you just go through phases in life where at the time something just suits you and it fulfills you and you go with it, and then you reach the next phase in your life and you just want something else. It's like the older you get, well, for me anyway, the older or more experiences I have in life, the more I appreciate like my own time, being able to travel maybe when I wanted and not being restricted, or having to go into a workplace like and be there at a specific time and finish at a specific time. Like some people suit that kind of lifestyle and some people like to be a bit more flexible. And I think getting older, I am appreciating more of having my own time and being a bit more flexible with the hours I work. So going forward, obviously my own business is something that I'm currently working towards, and hopefully I will get to a point where I can just choose my own hours and what my days look like and be a bit more flexible. But you are correct, adulting is very, very hard. But I feel like you just need to find something that you enjoy and put loads of effort into it when you are younger, because the older you get, I feel like you just have less time and you feel like you've got less time because there's so much going on in the world. You said, that's interesting. So, cup of tea, that's interesting. So you learn more towards the black side due to looks. So you lean more towards the black side due to looks. What does that mean? I'm not really sure. Can you clarify what that means? I lean more towards the black side due to looks. Does that mean I look more black? Or I don't know. We'll go to the next comment while you just clarify that one for me. I'm 27, so Miss Paris. I'm 27 and I feel like a kid playing in an adult costume. Adulting is so strange and bills are ghetto. Bills are so ghetto. I don't want to say I hate them. I should just be grateful that, because there's a lot of people in the world who cannot pay bills and afford to live and whatnot. So yeah, bills are ghetto, but we just got to get over them. But I feel like your 20s are a bit of a weird place, if I'm being honest, like especially late 20s, because it's like some people are like, they've got their job, they've got like their family, they're married, they're like settled, they know what they're doing XYZ. And then some people are just like on the complete opposite end, like I'm single, living my best life, going on holiday, traveling, doing this and that, like still figuring things out. So yeah, but you'll get there. I feel like you just gotta like trust in yourself and your decisions, and as long as you're a good person at the end of the day and you're not doing any harm to anybody, then no one can tell you anything. Which is so you said about my hair, I lean towards the black side due to looks. About your hair, is this me being slow, or because still don't really get what the comment is? Lean more towards the black side due to looks. About your hair, I don't know, but yeah. Do I lean towards the black side? Do I lean towards the white side? Who knows? I feel like I'm dead in the middle. Obviously, when it comes to hair, okay, here we go. Clarification. If you had straight hair, would you feel the same? Or was the hair thing that made you feel to be more hanging to black friends than white? Was the hair thing that made you feel to be more hanging to black friends than white? It's fine. If I had straight hair, would I feel the same? I don't think I would feel the same, if I'm being completely honest. Maybe in school, but even when I was in school, not only like the hair thing, it was more of like I I had obviously very close friends in school, but my friends were white, and I just felt like at the time I didn't know this, but I felt like something was just unfulfilled in me. Like people didn't quite get me to the level that I needed them to get me. And when I left school and I found, even in college, I made friends who were like mixed and things like that. And I had black friends in college. I feel like it was just, I can't say it was due to the race, but when I found black friends and mixed friends, I felt like people understood me and they got it. Whereas some of the conversations I had with like my white friends and things like that, like, I don't know, because there's just cultural differences there. And as much as I don't want to put it down to black and white, like, because I've got white friends now who like are cultured and they get it as well. So I think it's maybe just down to like the lack of cultural awareness in the white friends that I had as well. Because when I moved to London, I was like, these are my people. Like, I've never been around black people like this much in my whole entire life. And yeah, I really appreciated having all of the black friends that I made. I just really felt at home, it was really nice, to be honest. Like, I was like, yes, these people get me. Like, we like the same music. We like the same food. We can do each other's hair. Like, you can give me tips on this. So, yeah, interesting times. Hey, Miss Harris, you felt slightly more othered around white friends as opposed to being black or mixed. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I feel like, especially in school, like when you're different, it's hard as a child and as a young person in school. If you're like you stuck out, like obviously the thing is, I'm not even like fully black. So for me to stand out and get like a little bit of racism, I'm like, what would you do to a black person? Because I'm half black, like I'm in the middle. So, but like my friends were not like that at all. Like they didn't make a point of it. Like they didn't, I wouldn't even know any different. But it's only because sometimes I got the comments about my hair, or there was like a couple of girls who were like racist, but I never really, up to that point, I'd never really received anything like that. Someone said, you felt you had more in common. I'm Irish English born, but feel more strongly to Irish than English. I agree. Culture thing. Yeah. Interesting. It is the cultural thing. It's definitely the cultural thing. That's what it boils down to. Because I think there can be people who are like black people who are like culturally very, very like white, and they maybe don't even embrace their black side. And then there's like white people who are like so culturally aware, like they have loads of black friends, they go to like black events and stuff like that. So I think it's just down to a culture thing. Hey, wholeness and balance to you. Hope all is well, and I'm mixed as well and do have thin hair as well. I had a question. How can you prevent your hair from breaking from summertime versus winter time? Hi as well, Sierra. Hoping I pronounced that right. So in terms of hair breakage, that's a big topic. I'm someone who this year I did experience a lot of breakage early on in the year, and I've managed to overcome that now. So I think the main thing when it comes to breakage, you have to look at your routine and how you, first of all, handle your hair as well. So if you're being too rough, if you're detangling like way too much and you're manipulating way too much, then there's issue number one. Do not obviously start including things like heat, blow drying, straightening, colouring, because all of those things are going to put you on like already an uneven platform to someone who has maybe healthy hair. So we've got to just put all of those things to the side, those excessive colouring, heat practices, things like that. And obviously the manipulation is where you need to first look at, are you manipulating your hair too often? Are you being too rough with your hair? Number two, You need to also look at your diet as well. Make sure that you are getting an adequate amount of vitamins in your diet and protein in your diet. And if you're unsure, I would recommend you going to get a blood test from your doctor or something like that, and making sure that you're not deficient in any area, because that can contribute a lot to breakage, even before you start looking at things like products. So number one, obviously, I would say even number one is the bloods. Get your bloods done. Find out what's going on. Number two, minimize any styling that is like heat styling, colouring, straightening. Any sort of chemical process needs to be eliminated. Number three, we need to look at the protein and moisture balance in our hair, because if your hair is too moisturized, it can also cause it to be weak and break. If it's protein overloaded, then it becomes brittle and it breaks as well. So you've got to find a balance in between those two things, kind of on a weekly basis when it comes to products. And lastly, the styles that you are doing need to be low tension styles. So don't be doing slick backs on your hair and using a hard brush and dragging your hair back into a bun and things like that regularly. Like, they're okay to do every now and again, but to be doing them on a daily basis is something that you want to avoid. So I would just say low tension styling is going to be your best friend, especially if you've got hair that's on the thinner side. Dina Kyles, have you ever traveled to the US? Yes, I have. I've been quite a few times to the US. I firstly went to New York when I was really young. I was like 8 years old, went to New York. After that, I did Orlando for like the millennial. When it was the millennium, I went to Disney World. Then I have an auntie that lives in San Diego, so I went to visit her. So I went to San Diego. At that time, we then traveled to Las Vegas for a couple of nights. I went to Las Vegas again for a dance competition when I was about 18, so that was fun. Also went to Miami with my friend, and then I went to LA as well. So been a few places in the US, but I would like to go back. Like, I feel like it's great and there's so much to do over there. So I would like to go to like Atlanta or where's the other place? I don't know. There's a place where does like the Mardi Gras and like, I don't know. You need to put it in because I can't remember. But there's like a little parade down the street, and yeah, it looks cool. Should I have a braider do mini twists on my natural hair, or should I have hair? Or should I have hair had human hair? Should I have a braider do mini twists on my natural hair, or should I have her had human hair? Does that mean add human hair or have? Anyway, yes, you can get a braider to do mini twists on your natural hair. I would recommend that without any hair if you're trying to grow your hair. If you're going for the look and aesthetic purposes, and you're not trying to, you're not too concerned about the length retention, then you can get hair added into it. I had mine recently done in mini twists by a stylist, and I absolutely loved it. In comparison to when I do it, the parts are not clean, and then when I went to a stylist, I was like, this is how it's meant to look. It is so nice when you get someone to do it, but it does take a long time. Amy, always, how long would you want your hair to grow? Are you interested in as long as indigenous strands? I would, yes, New Orleans, that's it. That's where I want to go. Sorry, back to the question. I want my hair, I would be happy if my hair was waist length. I don't know if I could cope with it beyond waist length, because my hair is at bra strap length at the minute, and even it be at bra strap length, it is a task to like style. Like, I'm so lazy. I do my hair once a week on like a weekend, and as you can see, my hair's been like this since Saturday. I leave my hair for the whole week, don't do anything to it apart from moisturize it, and then I do it again the following weekend. And if I was to have hair that is like indigenous strands length, I don't think I could cope with it. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'll just be a straight natural and forever have straight hair because I'm lazy. So yeah, to answer your question, I don't want it as long as indigenous strands. Me personally, I feel like for me that is too long. So yeah. Sorry if this was answered already. Where are your parents from? My mum she's English, just British, white British. My dad is Nigerian, although he was born in England as well. So he's like second generation, and then my mum's white. New Orleans, we said that. Atlanta is so nice. Yeah, Atlanta looks so cool. Like it looks like such a vibe. And I've heard there's like so many black businesses there, so I would love to go to Atlanta. But the flight and the price is crazy for Atlanta. Louisiana, New Orleans does Mardi Gras. That would be fun. Yes, it looks so fun. Your thoughts on straight hair / heat trained naturals? Would you consider being one if it meant you could see more length, or would you miss your curls? My thoughts on straight hair and heat trained naturals. I have no thoughts really on them. They don't really like if it works for you and that's your like thing, then you do you. I feel like some of the straight naturals that I've seen, the hair's beautiful. Like there's nothing better sometimes than having like a silk press and just your hair's just like flowing and you're able to like move it around. Like, and I feel like it just changes your look completely. So I do love straight hair. I'm not gonna lie. Like, not like fake people with fake hair. I love like natural straight hair. It's so beautiful. Would I consider being a straight natural if I could see more length? For my own personal brand, no. I wouldn't consider it. I think for a period of time, I would entertain it. But ultimately, I'm a curly girl. Like, I love my curls. And as much as I love straight hair, I don't think there's anything better than like a massive head of curls. Like, it's so intriguing to me. And I love when I see girls out and their hair's just like voluminous and like thick and curly, like a massive, like I absolutely love that look. And I don't think you can beat it because I always think anyone can have straight hair, but not anyone can have curls. Thank you so much. You are welcome. Same, I like to look at other people's, but I can't have past waist length, I think. Yeah, like it's nice to appreciate it from afar, but ultimately the maintenance on it, the maintenance, and it already takes me long in the salon. Imagine having like indigenous strands length hair and going to the salon and getting that done. You must be in there for the whole day. What do I do for work? I'm a teacher, secondary school teacher. So yeah, I do that and then I do my content on the side as well. I can't believe I've been on live yapping for nearly 40 minutes. Clearly I've had a lot to say today and you guys have definitely helped me in putting all your questions and stuff in. No wonder you are calm. Do you know what? My patience gets tested on a daily basis. But in general, I am quite a calm person anyway. It takes a lot to rattle me. So I feel like it kind of fits my personality being a teacher as well. But I have mastered the art of patience, which is great. But yeah. 3 people in the live. I'm definitely going to do this again though. This was a cool live and I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to put up another post on my community tab and see what we can yap about next time. I might put a topic or I might just come on and just talk to you lot. Because it's nice to always connect with the community and get to know you a little bit better. Yeah, it will build up. I really am not too bothered anyway, about the people in the live. Like, we all got to start somewhere. So, here we are. But I'm going to go because I need to eat. It's like 7:10 here. That means it's dinner time for me. And my dog's been on his own a little bit too long. So I will see you next week, and have a nice rest of your evening, everybody.